Dodge has a very particular formula going on for the past few years, and that formula doesn't include modernizing their cars at all. Most of Dodge's vehicles still have their old interiors, they still have an ancient backup camera, so who in their right minds would pay $92,000 or more for a Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye Widebody? Well, it's gotta be people that want the most bang for their buck, including 797 horsepower and something that sounds like this. Oh, it's so good. Today I will be giving you a tour of the 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye Widebody, and then I will give you my opinion on what I think about this absolutely insane beast. Let's do this. Obviously, we have to start off with listening to the crazy exhaust sound of the Hellcat Redeye, so let's get into that because it sounds pretty intense. Next up, you obviously have launch control in here, and it's easy to activate. All you have to do is hit the launch button right here and you're ready to go. Now, if you're somebody that wants a little bit more control over your launch control because the Hellcat Redeye is extremely powerful, you can hop into the SRT dashboard, and from there you can adjust your launch RPM for optimum launch and traction. I found it to work best between the 2,000-2,100 mark. Now, no video of the Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye is complete without a burnout, and to do a burnout in this beast is pretty simple. To help you do a burnout, you have something called line lock, and you just activate it by hitting this button here, and what that will do is lock up the front brakes so you can light up the rear tires. Once you activate line lock, you just follow the instructions in the gauge cluster, you apply brake pressure, hit OK, keep holding OK, and then release the brake, and then light them up. Now, if that wasn't impressive enough for you, let me show you a few more cool and interesting things about the Challenger Hellcat Redeye, because there are a lot of them. First up, since this is a Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye, the red theme is carried throughout this car. You'll see red in the eyes of the Hellcat badges around this car, well, some of them, and you have a really nice red color theme to the gauge cluster. But the most important red colored item here is the key. The Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye comes with two keys, one black, one red. The black key, which I don't have here, will only let you access 500 horsepower, and that's the key that you give somebody when you want to let them borrow your car, but I highly recommend not letting anybody borrow this with a black key or the red key. However, if you want to access all the 797 craziness that the Hellcat Redeye has to offer, you will have to use this red key because that's the only way you can completely go insane in this insane car. Next up, let's check out these headlights because they look pretty normal, but if you zoom in, you'll notice that the two inner lights are actually air intakes to help cool this powerful engine. Now, after doing all those burnouts, launch controls, and drag runs, you want to make sure you cool down your engine, and the Challenger Hellcat Redeye will help you do that with something called chiller mode. Once you activate chiller mode, the Hellcat Redeye will divert AC refrigerant to cool the supercharger to lower the air intake temperature and help you maximize power output. But while you're using chiller mode, AC will not be available in the cabin, so it can get insanely hot in here. But that's not all. You also have something called race cooldown mode. And basically what that does is, say that you've had a crazy day on the track and you need some extra cooling, rather than what just the chiller mode provides, you can simply activate race cooldown mode, and the radiator fan and the coolant pump will remain on for 5 minutes or so to help you cool down your Hellcat Redeye. Moving on, just like most SRT models, the Challenger Hellcat Redeye here also has the SRT performance pages, and that will give you all the performance info on your car, including timers, gauges, G-force, engine data, and an actual dyno in the car. That's very cool. Now, you really only have 4 drive modes, including track, sport, custom, and auto. In custom, you can go into custom setup and switch a lot of the things around here to your liking. I like to keep everything on sport and the highest output power setting. Next up, let's talk about pricing. Pricing for the Challenger Hellcat starts at $60,695. The Challenger Hellcat Redeye starts at $72,295. The Challenger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody here starts at $78,295. As tested, you're looking at $92,245. So why does my test model cost $92,245? Well, let's break it down. Now, my test model is officially the SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody, and that package, which is on top of the Hellcat, will cost you an insane $17,600. My test model also has the Plus package, which gives you things like ventilated seats, a stitched dash and door panels, along with a powered tilt and telescope steering wheel for $1,595. I also have the driver convenience package, which costs an additional $1,295. And if you're a fan of good sound, you can upgrade to the Harman Kardon sound system, which will run you $1,795. Now, the interior on my test model here has the Laguna leather package, which will run you $1,795. A 3.9 axle ratio will cost you an additional $1,095. My test model also has dual carbon stripes, which will run you another $895. And then if you upgrade to the Uconnect 8.4-inch touchscreen display with navigation, you'll be paying $795. And then the black brake calipers here will run you an extra $595. And finally, add on the $2,100 gas guzzler tax, and you're looking at a Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye that will run you over $92,000. Next up, let's talk about power and performance. Power for the 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye comes from the 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi V8, making a crazy 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of torque, and it's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, when it comes to 0 to 60, I've clocked it in at 3.7 seconds with a top speed of 203 miles an hour. So yes, it is insanely quick. Now, when it comes to fuel economy, you get 13 city, 21 highway, so it's not great on gas. You have an 18.5 gallon tank capacity. I'm averaging, after a few days of driving, a total of 11.6 miles a gallon. Ouch. Now, very quickly, let's take a look at the exterior design of the Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye. Overall, the Dodge Challenger hasn't changed much for years, and I'm kind of glad it hasn't. Nonetheless, the wide body here makes this thing look even more beastly with wide body fender flares. It looks like a really, really mean muscle car. You also have the 20-inch black aluminum wheels as a part of the $17,600 Hellcat Redeye widebody package, and they look really, really cool. Overall, the 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye widebody here looks really menacing and really mean. I absolutely love this design quite a bit, and I hope they stick with it for a couple of more years. Now, very quick, let's check out the trunk space in the Challenger Hellcat Redeye. You can pop it up just by using this button right here, and you have 16.2 cubic feet of trunk space. That's plenty of room for your trips to Costco or whatever you want. Next up, let's finally hop inside the 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye, because one, it's really hot outside, and two, it's the same old Challenger that we've come to love and appreciate, and I'm pretty neutral about it considering the price tag. Listen, I get it. Dodge really needs to update this interior in terms of design and materials because it is pretty outdated. I hope they do it soon, but for now, this is what we're working with. Now, while this isn't the interior that you would expect at a car that costs more than $92,000, my test model does come with a premium stitched dash and door panels, a suede headliner, and real carbon fiber interior accents. All those things that I just mentioned do cost extra as a part of added packages, and they totally shouldn't, because at this price tag, all that stuff should just be standard. People buying this will really have to grapple with the idea of paying $92,000 plus for a heavily loaded Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye widebody or a nicely equipped BMW or Mercedes-Benz. Nonetheless, it is very, very comfortable in here. These seats are extremely comfortable, and as I said before, my test model has the $1,795 Laguna package, which gives you these really nice Hellcat Laguna seats with a cool Hellcat logo right there. Next up, let's check out some tech, starting with the gauge cluster. It's pretty simple, but pretty customizable. You have a red theme going on here since this is a Redeye. The coolest thing here is the performance pages, which will give you your 0 to 60 timer, your 0 to 100 miles per hour timer, your quarter-mile run, and a bunch of other info. And beyond that, you can just look at some other vehicle info, your speedometer, and you can customize it pretty much any way you like it. As for the infotainment system here, all Dodge Challenger Hellcat models come standard with an 8.4-inch touchscreen display, but if you want the navigation here, you will have to pay an extra $795. Nonetheless, you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard on all Dodge Challenger models, so I recommend saving your $795 and not going for the navigation. That said, while this whole Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram infotainment system is a little old, I absolutely love how quick and easy it is to use. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to really dig through here and learn everything overall, and it's pretty straightforward. Now, before I give you my opinion on the Challenger Hellcat Redeye, let me show you a few random things that I love to show you all. You have 4 cup holders, 2 in the front and 2 for the rear passengers, if you can actually fit somebody back there. And then this is how the door open and close sounds on the Hellcat Redeye Challenger from the outside and from the inside. Pretty solid. And finally, let's hear how the horn sounds on the 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye. Pretty nice. And now that I've given you a tour of the 2020 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye Widebody, let me give you my opinion on what I think about this absolutely insane vehicle. Let's get to it. This thing is absolutely insane. Honestly, nobody in their right minds needs something this wild and something with this much power, but hey, I love it. Now, the Dodge Demon made 840 horsepower while running on racing fuel, but Dodge only made 3,000 units of those. I've never driven one of those, but I can only imagine how crazy that thing is. Well, the Hellcat Redeye here is supposed to keep some of the Demon alive with 797 horsepower, and that's 90 more horsepower than the regular Hellcat. I don't know who needs it, but hey, it's here and it's freaking awesome. The acceleration of this thing is completely insane. You probably can't hear me, but you could do 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, run a quarter mile in about 10 seconds, and those are crazy figures. I absolutely love everything about this car. The way it looks with the wide body kit, the crazy sick wheels, and the sound of the supercharger whining, it's awesome. This car definitely shouldn't exist, but it does. Look, I get it. As an overall car, this thing shouldn't cost $92,000 because you can go and buy a luxury performance car for that kind of money and have a better overall experience. But this isn't about luxury. This is just about the most absolute insane thing Dodge can do. There is not a luxury car or any car out there that will scare the living crap out of you the way the Challenger Hellcat Redeye will. And I appreciate Dodge being one of those brands that is still building crazy machines like this in this day and age. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Omar Drives. You can follow me on TikTok at Omar Drives if the US government hasn't banned it already. I'll see you next week. Take care. Peace.